My name is Engineer Tendai Peter Munyanduri. I'm the president of a brand new political party called the New Patriotic Front NPF political party. I'm a holder of a diploma. I'm a holder of a master's degree in electrical power engineering, meaning that when I become the leader of Zimbabwe, electricity will not be blinkering in bulbs as it is currently doing. There won't be any water shortages. Not only do I have a Master of Science in Electrical Power Engineering, but I also work for the Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority. I've worked for the Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority, meaning that I have got qualification and experience to promise reliable electricity and water services, because water is pumped with electricity. If electricity is reliable, water will be reliable in taps in people's homes. I am also a holder of a master's degree in strategic management, specializing in marketing, meaning that as far as marketing Zimbabwe to investors, Mnangagwa and Chamisa are only infants. They are toddlers. There will be plenty of investors and a lot of job opportunities for our people. I'm a holder of a master's degree in business administration, specialized in finance. Finance has to do with money, which means there will be price reduction in shops. The Zimbabwean dollar will have a lot of weight compared with the world currencies like the US dollar, and there's going to be massive reduction in prices. I'm a holder of a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronic engineering, and I've also worked for a company like PTC briefly, meaning that there will be reliable telecommunication services in the country once Tendai Peter Munyanduri is the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe. I'm a holder of a diploma in management, ISM UK, meaning that there will be good corporate governance, no criminals and corrupt people in the country. I'm also a holder of a diploma in management, ISM UK, and I'm hoping to do a PhD in power engineering shortly. And also, I've worked for various companies, including Barclays Bank First Street branch, and I worked for correspondence department, tellers department, and foreign exchange department and correspondence department, meaning that as far as the banking sector is concerned, I have practical experience to ensure that our people do not go to banks and not find money that they've worked for. There won't be queues in banks. I also worked for the Ministry of Public Construction, National Housing, building all government buildings in the country, hospitals, police stations, schools, etc., which means that our people have recent and advanced houses when I'm the president, when Tendai Peter Munyanduri is the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe. I've also worked for a company called Zisco Steel in Kwekwe, meaning that I'm well versed in terms of industrial dynamics, and that industries, closed industries and new industries will be established in the country, meaning a lot of job opportunities for all people. I've also worked for the Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority. I briefly had my company called Swing Tech, which was in the business of photocopying, laminating, binding, book writing, etc. So, if you notice, all our manifesto promises are premised on the CV and experience of our president. I like political parties like ZANU-PF because I've never seen people who lie like Mnangagwa and Chamisa. Mnangagwa was promising command houses, but for someone who thinks, you would ask yourself, is Mnangagwa a builder? The answer is no. Is he a bricklayer? The answer is no. Is he a quantity surveyor? The answer is no. Is he an architecture? No. Civil engineer? No. So when you promise command housing, Mnangagwa will be lying. But when he promises things to do with law as a lawyer, he will be genuine. When Mnangagwa again talks of command agriculture, he will also be lying. Because to anyone who thinks, even who hasn't gone to school, you ask himself, Mnangagwa is promising command agriculture. Is he a crop scientist? The answer is no. Is he an agronomist? The answer is no. Is he an agricultural extension officer called Mdomeni Nshona? The answer is no. Has he also been farming with his hands practically for the past 10 years or 20 years? The answer is no. So when Mnangagwa talks about command agriculture, he'll be lying. But when he promises things to do with law, he'll be genuine because he's a lawyer. When Chamisa talks about a bullet train, he will again be lying. Because anyone who is logical and who thinks, will ask, Chamisa is promising bullet train, has he worked for the National Railways of Zimbabwe or other similar such companies anywhere in the world? The answer is no. For there to be a train, there's need to be a welder, a panel beater, an auto electrician, a fitter, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer. Chamisa is none of those. So when he talks about a bullet train, those will be blunted lies. when Chamisa talks about spaghetti roads, he will again be lying. Anyone who thinks will ask, Chamisa is talking about spaghetti roads. Has he previously worked for the Ministry of Roads? The answer is no. Has he worked for DDF, District Development Fund? The answer is no. And is he a civil artisan? Because the road is a civil engineering product. Is he a civil engineer? The answer is no. Is he a civil artisan? So Chamisa will be bluntly lying when he talks about spaghetti roads, because it is not backed with his CV, that is academic qualifications and work experience. So my advice to the people of Zimbabwe is that you should look at the CV. Don't vote for a person that you don't know his CV is. That's why I've started by mentioning my CV as Engineer Tendai Peter Munyanduri, President of the New Patriotic Front, so that you know what we are able to deliver. We are promising reliable water and electricity which does not blinker in bulbs, massive reduction of prices in shops, a strong longer currency against US dollar, opening of new industries and abundant plentiful job opportunities together with plentiful investors. We have also promised salaries in Zimbabwe which are on top of the world to make Zimbabwe a top income country, so that Zimbabwe becomes prosperous, which is mainly our manifesto promises. Mnangagwa and Chamisa are very, very dull people as far as academic competence is concerned. Engineer Munyanduri was number 1 in class from grade 5 up to Form 6 exclusively. And he took first prize from Form 1 up to Form 6. Grade 5 up to, first prize from grade 5 up to Form 6 exclusive. So what I mean is that if you vote for a dull person like Mnangagwa, Chamisa, there is going to be high price hikes in shops, and a lot of people are going to die of starvation after failing to raise money to buy meal, and when there is no electricity. And when you die, God is going to judge to say, my people died because of your vote. The Bible says everything that you have done is going to be tested with fire, which means your vote can make you go to hell or go to heaven. If you vote for Mnangagwa, who contributed to the murder of 12 people on 1 August when we were demonstrating in Harare, God is going to say, you also contributed to the death of those people. You are also a murderer. Because I did not vote Mnangagwa today, I could not be saying Mnangagwa is a murderer. But because of what you voted Mnangagwa, and the one as a dull person, he murdered people, and you were part of the people that caused the murdering of those people, you are also a murderer. So, your vote is going to make you go to hell. That's why people say when you are voting, you should pray. Because if you don't pray, you are going to vote for a thief, you are going to vote for a murderer, you are going to vote for a dull person. Mnangagwa and Chamisa are thieves. Let me start with the Mnangagwa and Chamisa. Because when you go to UK, America, and a lot of other countries, there is nothing called Political Parties Finance Act. The tax money is used to build common infrastructure. For example, roads which are used by the majority of Zimbabwe. For example, power stations which give electricity to the majority of Zimbabwe. Dams which give water to a lot of people. But here in Zimbabwe, what is happening is called legislative stealing. Stealing using the law with impunity. Political Parties Finance Act is allowing Mnangagwa and Chamisa to steal your $13 million every year. Year by year, $30 million is being stolen, which was supposed to be in banks. That's why there's money shortages in banks right now, because the money is being stolen with Mnangagwa and Chamisa. It's being stolen with MDC and ZANU-PF. So, if you vote for a thief like Mnangagwa and Chamisa, you're not going to go to heaven. I'm saying Mnangagwa and Chamisa are very, very dull people because they were in the arts class. At Form 3, in any former British colony, including Zimbabwe, the country with the people who are the worst academically, at Form 3 using Form 2 results, was the class of lawyers and advocates. So, Mnangagwa and Chamisa are dull people. Mnangagwa failed school and went to war because he had failed exams. He had to join the ruling party, which is called UNIP in Zambia, so that he will be given a political degree. Chamisa again failed academically and failed to go to university. He went to Polytechnic. At the Polytechnic, there are diplomas for intelligent people called sciences. There are those on the middle called commercial qualifications. And then Chamisa was doing a diploma for dull people. When he was the Minister of ICT, at first he did not even have a single degree. He applied to the University of Zimbabwe, and the university said, with your A-level results, you don't qualify to do any degree at university. But however, because you are old, you are now a minister, and you also be going to school at 38 years with young people 16 years old, we are going to give you what is called maturity entry. That's how Chamisa managed to go to university. He went to university with the bodyguards who had guns in their court. Who will fail anyone with the bodyguards with guns in their clothing? So Chamisa was just given a degree, which means Grace Mugabe, Joyce Mjuru, Patrick Joao, Kasukwere, and Chamisa are the same. These people do not have degree. For example, I was a part-time lecturer at Illinois University of Technology when Miss Mjuru was doing her masters, and I was drinking drinks with the lecturer who was teaching Miss Mjuru, and he was saying, "This lady is very professional." And I asked him, why are you saying it's professional? He said, "My child, even where I did not write, you give me 90%, why can't you give me 80%? Which means these people were just given degrees. They don't have degrees. Because if I pass Miss Mjuru or Mnangagwa, or Chamisa specifically, I'll be made minister of Net 1, chief exec of Net 1 or Tier 1, because the lecturer salary is low compared to those chief exec. Maybe I'll be made chief exec for Net 1, Tier 1, Econet Card, or Telecom, or Net 1. Or even if I vote for Chamisa or Miss Mjuru, I'll be made in the political of ZANU-PF or MDC, I'll be made to be in the political or National Standing Committee. So these people do not have degrees. So what I'm advising the people of Zimbabwe to do before you vote, you should list all the things that you're having problems with. For example, money shortages, electricity outages, no water, price increases, reduced losing value of the RTGS dollar versus US dollar, and say who is the presidential candidate with qualifications and experience who is able to solve these people. And you see that that person is only Engineer Chamisa and Mnangagwa did not go to school for any of those things that I've mentioned. They don't have qualifications, they don't have experience. So it's a waste of time to vote for Mnangagwa and Chamisa come 2023. So an engineer, you always need an engineer every day, because the house you stay in is an engineering product. The electricity which you use to cook and see at night is engineering. For water to come out of taps is engineering. The stove that you use to cook, whether for paraffin or for electricity, is an engineering product. The same with the TV and the radio, the engineering product. The bed that you sleep on is engineering. The car that you have used to come to town today or the bus is engineering. The cell phone is an engineering product. The bed, the pot that you cook in is engineering. The computer that you are waiting in the bank to be given money with is engineering. The cell phone is engineering. The clothes that are putting on is a product of textile engineering. So an engineer, you need him every day. I'm now 53 years old. I've never looked for a lawyer or an advocate to help me in my life. Other people have lived up to 90 years and went into the grave without even learning a lawyer. I don't know those who are voting Chamisa and Mnangagwa as lawyers. What do you want them to do for you? Because they haven't gone to school for anything that you are having problems with. But Mnyanduri has gone to school for everything that you are having problems with. It's only a murderer or a thief who looks for a lawyer or an advocate so that he can represent them in court. So are you murderers? Are you thieves, Zimbabweans, if you are voting for lawyers? So I am advising you to vote for scientist, engineer Tendai Peter Munyanduri come 2023 general elections. I thank you.